Hi friends, it's Liz coming at you from South Korea. This is my week 21 GLP-1 diary, 21 weeks on Manjaro, and my first week on 5 milligrams of Manjaro. So last time I told you that the quick pen, big old question mark about when that's coming. So I really had no choice but to just increase my dose, doubling it from 2.5 to 5 milligrams. So I did it. I was really nervous and I'd been thinking about it for like 2 months, whether it was time. And I definitely think it was time. I've had a good amount of movement on the scale so far in 1 week, like maybe 1.5 pounds lost since I switched to the Manjaro 5 milligrams. So that's going well. As far as side effects, I haven't really had a return of the acid reflux. I did make a few changes to the way I was eating. Like I cut out the egg yolks again, so I was only eating egg white omelets in the morning. And I tried to divide up my meals quite a bit more, especially Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. I was eating the meal that I prepare to bring to school instead of in 2 parts, in like 3 or 4 parts. On Monday, I think I did overeat a little bit, or more that I just ate a little too fast, and then I felt slightly like overfull and a little nauseous. But it was very mild, and I didn't feel it very, like, I didn't throw up. I have not yet vomited. And it subsided like as we went, and I was able to finish my food before the end of the day. So that all worked out. And I was like, yeah, my appetite suppression is back kind of where it feels like not like the strongest. Like I still feel hunger. I still want to eat when it's meal times. Like even if I'm not super hungry, like I can eat at meal time. So that's all going fine. Nothing to worry about there as far as being able to fuel myself, because fueling yourself is super important on these medications. It just, and what you fuel with also really matters. We've had a 3-day weekend, had Friday off, got out to a new neighborhood kind of on the outskirts of town by bike and walking, and had brunch at this cafe that was very beautiful. And I had risotto for the first time in forever. And I was like, you know what? It's a lot of carbs, it's a lot of cream, it's a lot of cheese, but, we're exercising, so the carbohydrates are good. And then we went walking to a temple after that. So I actually didn't feel like too weighed down or heavy by the carbs and dairy that were in that. And I think I left maybe 25% of the risotto on the plate. Like I still have this like feeling like I should finish my meals. And in Korea, like they don't always do to-go boxes, but I didn't have enough to really like take it to go, and we were going to go hiking anyway. Well, it wasn't really a hike. It was uphill, but it wasn't too crazy. And the actual temple, Buddhist temple itself, was like on graduated stairs and stuff. But yeah, I wasn't going to take the leftovers with me. It just didn't seem like the kind of place that was going to box things up for you unless you were like taking some cake and bread to go. But yeah, it was really nice. And we got plenty of exercise in. Luckily, Curves was open on Friday, so I was able to go early in the morning to get my workout in. They'll be closed on Tuesday this week, so because it's Children's Day. But that's all right. I'll be able to work out 4 times this week. And I have the day off Tuesday as well, so I can probably get out easily for like that long walk. I guess it's, I don't know, it's about like almost a 2-hour walk that I can do on the stream. Oh, Marshmallow. How are you doing? But yeah, so first week of 5 milligrams, not nearly as bad as I was expecting. And again, no acid reflux. Because I'm eating the prunes, the constipation is not really an issue anymore. And I've started making these smoothies on the weekend. I got the coffee protein drinks that I mentioned last time. I ended up buying like a bulk order of them on coupon. And I do that with a banana, some frozen blueberries, the coffee protein shake, and then I add in a scoop of chocolate protein powder. Just why not? And it is so delicious, but it's like huge, and it's almost enough like of a meal on its own. I figure I'm getting the protein and then the fiber with the fruit, although the fiber is all like blended up together because, but I feel like that makes it almost easier to digest the fiber. So yeah, I did have mostly egg white omelet, but I did start putting the yolk back in on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, I started putting the yolk back in on Friday just to see. And I didn't seem to have any reflux issues adding the yolk back in. But for earlier in the week, I might skip the yolk again, since when I take my next shot tonight in a couple of hours here, the level of medication in my body is going to be much higher than it ever has before. So just as a precaution, I'm going to be reducing the amount of fat that I'm going to be eating. I did eat like an avocado and a half today, just because I bought avocados that are like ready to eat, and they are ready to eat, and avocados are not cheap here. It was like reasonable. It was like a kilogram of them, so it was like six avocados for like 10,000 won, so about $7-ish. And yeah, they're ripe and ready, so I don't want them to go bad. So I have tahine that I brought from the US. So I just cut the avocado in half, sprinkle the tahine on, and grab a spoon and scoop it out and eat it. And it's so good. My goodness. Yeah. Oh, and another thing that I've kind of changed up the recipe for, because I ran out of cinnamon powder and I just haven't replaced it yet. Because my chia pudding, I was doing honey, cinnamon powder, and like some vanilla extract for the flavoring, and then soy milk, high protein soy milk. It's like a good 10 grams of 10 grams of protein in a serving, in a 250 milliliter serving. It's almost half a cup. I don't know. Anyway, but when I make my chia pudding, I was doing that, but I ran out of the cinnamon powder. So now I do ginger and turmeric, although I've since run out of the ginger powder. So I found, I had some golden milk mix. It's technically expired, but it's fine. So I'm using the golden milk, which has turmeric and ashwagandha and dates. And I'm putting that into the soy milk with, I don't know. Well, I did honey the one time, but I don't know if I need the honey because it's already got the dates in there. So it might actually be sweet enough to just do the golden milk powder on its own. I'm not sure yet. But doing that in the chia pudding has been really delicious. So I really need to replace some spices, I think. I think I've got allspice and stuff like that, but changing up the chia pudding recipe has been fun. What I flavor it with anyway. Yeah. Let's see, what else is going on? So yeah, there's side effects, which have been very minimal. The scale is moving. Yeah, actually, I think the reason that the scale didn't move much in April is that I was being so consistent with my workouts that I was actually putting muscle back on, and that's what the InBody showed. So I was losing fat but gaining muscle. So that's why it really seemed like the scale just wasn't going down as much as it was, but I'm already, I guess, working on body recomposition in a way. So it wasn't really a bad thing, but I think anyway, regardless, moving up to 5 milligrams was the right thing to do for myself. And there's an app in Korea. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I can maybe put a link to it in the description of this video for those of you who may be in Korea and considering getting onto a GLP-1. But it's an app that will basically help you to find clinics, find pharmacies, and the cool thing is that it will tell you how much the medication costs at the different pharmacies, because I was thinking like, I don't know, the 410,000 won seems like a lot. And I'd seen this app advertised before on Instagram, but I just kind of like let it go, and then I didn't think about it again. But then somebody else had mentioned it on a Facebook group that I was in, and I was like, okay, maybe I should track that app down and see if there are any pharmacies in my town that sell the Mounjaro 5 milligrams for less. And there is. It's not too terribly far out of the way. Like, the hospital where I go to see my endocrinologist is a bus ride away. I mean, I could ride a bike too, but the traffic lights are so annoying on a bike that it just is way less frustrating if I take a bus to go to the doctor. But I could probably bike over to this pharmacy pretty easily to fill the prescription. And I think it's a good 40,000 won less, maybe even better than that. So I'm going to be spending probably closer to $300. No, $200. Yeah, it'll be closer to $200 for the 5 milligram shot if I go to this other pharmacy. And I told my husband about it too, so he can fill his prescription. I mean, he also just got his next month. He has 3 shots left, so he's got a few weeks before he'll need to fill his prescription. But I'm going to send him the information so he can go to that other pharmacy too, and he'll be able to spend, because it's like almost 50,000 won less for the lowest dose at that pharmacy. Yeah, it's significantly less expensive. So we're just going to change our pharmacy. That's okay. It'll be the same medicine, kind of no matter what. So yeah, we'll just be spending slightly less on the medication. And yeah, I've been thinking, like, for now, like, I really like the Mounjaro. The Mounjaro is working really, really well. And it's probably too soon to be considering maintenance because I'm only about 40% to my goal. But from today, I have lost like 20% of my body weight from when I started. So in 21 weeks, I'm 20% down on my body weight. But yeah, when I eventually get to a point of being in maintenance, I think then I will consider possibly switching medications. I mean, I can lower my dose possibly on the Mounjaro if it seems like I guess that's something that you do if you keep losing weight when you don't want to. When you don't want to lose any more weight, but you keep losing weight, then you should lower your dose or spread out your dose more. But because of the cost, when I get to what I consider like my goal weight or the weight that I want to be able to maintain, then I might try Wegovy or semaglutide just to see if that will help me to maintain, and the cost of that is a lot less. I also was looking up the patent expirations for that, and the patent for Ozempic in Korea will expire in like June of 2028. So that means from June of 2028, generic Ozempic will become available here. So that's pretty incredible. That's a lot sooner than it's going to go generic in the US. So it's definitely something to consider, changing up the medication, and maybe a low dose of semaglutide will be the way to go for me. I know that some people have worse side effects on Wegovy, like the nausea, food aversion. But I don't know that that would be the case for me because my body has just responded so well to this medication. So for now, everything's going well. I'm going to stay on the Mounjaro until I get to that maintenance phase, and we'll just play it by ear to see how it goes. Yeah, I just need to be more patient with the process and the timing of everything. It's okay to take time. Like, those first couple of months, I lost so much so fast. But I think it's better to lose less than that. Like, that 8 pounds a month is a good goal to have, but it's okay if I don't lose 8 pounds a month. And I'm operating in kilograms anyway these days, which is between 3 and 4 kilograms a month. So almost a kilo, like less than a kilogram a week is okay. 1.5 pounds a week is just fine. And this is a life project. This is not a just for now project. You know, this is about health, and feeling better and feeling good. And my knees have been complaining a bit lately, but as the weight comes off, my knees should feel better. And I am definitely getting stronger. It's there on the in-body that everything is working. Everything I'm doing is working. And so I just got to stay the course, get through this increasing of the dose. I figured out kind of what is wrong with the Me Again app. I think it is the app, but every time I open it, it wants me to rate it. And I'm like, I've barely used you. Why do you keep, it's asking me if I want to go premium. Like, and it takes forever for that pop-up to appear. And so until that pop-up appears and you can clear it out, like it just doesn't respond, or then it responds really late and it's really obnoxious. But I'm not going to pay premium. I don't need to pay for premium. I just want to track the levels of medication in my body. And the Me Again app at least lets you do that for free. And I probably do need to upgrade my phone at some point. It's like a Galaxy A16. But I'll worry about that later. Maybe in September I'll ask my husband to get me a new phone when he goes back to the States. I need a new laptop too. And laptops are expensive here. So yeah, I'm gonna have a list of things for my husband to buy when he goes back to the States in September for his good friend's wedding, where he'll be the best man. Unfortunately, I'm not going. I'm starting a new job in September, and the timing would just be weird. So he'll be going on his own. But before then, we're going to have a little vacation in July, and we're going to go camping and stay at we'll do camping for a few days and then stay at a B&B for a few days on the East Coast. Get a change of scenery, be near the ocean. We're not too far from the Yellow Sea. I don't know. But we're not too far from the ocean here, but I think it's easier to get to if you have a car. But my husband's a little bit scared to drive here because of the way that people drive around here. And the roads are so wide, like even in this technically suburban town, but it really does feel and look like a city. The main road is 8 lanes, four lanes in either direction. So it is a little bit crazy. And I asked the people at my table one day at the language exchange cafe that I go to on Sundays, what's the deal with Korean drivers not using their turn signals? And they said, basically, you use your turn signal, it's an invitation to the person behind you to tailgate you. And I'm like, oh, weird, because that's not what it should be interpreted as. And they're like, yeah, Korean drivers are very pali, which means like quickly, faster. So if somebody's turning, like they get weirdly aggressive. So people don't use their turn signals, especially on the highway, because they don't want to be tailgated. So people just change direction without indicating. And I'm like, how? I'm from Maine, and if you don't use your damn blinker, then what are you doing? Get off the road. But that's just a culture shock here, I guess. But other than that, like, I mean, I don't even have my driver's license, so who am I to judge other drivers when I don't do that? But anyway, I need to think about dinner because I've got a tutoring session at 7:30 now. Yeah, I've got an hour and 10 minutes until then, and I don't want to be eating too late. But probably after I get off this video now, I'm going to go ahead and do my weekly shot. Take my second dose of 5 milligrams of Mounjaro. Wow. Yeah. So if you are someone out there who's considering titrating up, going from the lowest dose to the next dose, I want to assure you that in your experience, like you've maybe made mistakes, learned some lessons the first time around when you first started. And I think if you apply what you learned from how your body reacted to those to now and make some small adjustments, some small tweaks, then you'll also be fine. And it won't be as scary as you might be working it up to be. because I think I definitely put a lot of my own concern and anxiety out there, which, I mean, it's valid. Like, all of our feelings are valid, but I kind of, after having done it, it's like, oh, NBD. Oh yeah, and I actually did it in my stomach, my shot in the stomach instead of the thigh, just because I don't know, when I do it in the thigh, I always have a little bit of like a bead of medicines sitting on the top of the skin after. So just doing it in the stomach for now is fine. If in a couple of months I'm feeling like it needs an adjustment, I can. But for now, I'm just going to do it in the stomach. And I don't even feel the needle going in anymore. I don't know what it is about that, but yeah, like I definitely rotate the spot. I'm not always sticking it in the same spot, but I just don't really feel it. So it's not too uncomfortable whatsoever. Okay. I think I've rambled on enough for now, so I will turn the video off now, and I will see you next week with my next update. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.